and the establishment populist spectrum. I mean, now see Emma Vigeland defending the establishment, which is mind-blowing.
Ari, I
What's going on, you guys? Today we have Emma Vigeland and Francesca Fiorentini going after Cenk, Uygur, TYT, and Kasparian. The whole show, everybody's getting it. Everybody's getting a free shot at Cenk Uygur. Everybody wants to throw shots at TYT and Ana Kasparian. Here we have Francesca Fiorentini and Emma Vigeland. Let's get into it.
The populist right-wing bloc and prevent a war. Again, those are like huge dreams.
I mean, I think it's sort of a deal with the devil either way. I do want to just step back. I want to step back from the news a little bit and truly understand what you believe you are doing and who you believe you represent. Just really briefly, who you believe you represent when you go on these shows. You say we a lot, and I'm not sure who you are referring to when you say we. Is it yourself? Is it you? And is it Ana and you and Ana? Is it all of TYT? Is it the broader left? Who do you think you represent when you go on these shows to make the case about how there's commonality?
Yeah. So great question again. So first off, for folks who don't know, Young Turks is the flagship show of the TYT network. So the TYT network is the whole left. So Franny's on the TYT network. This show's on the TYT network, and at least on the podcasting side. And so Franny is to the left of me on many issues. So is Jordan Ewell. So is so many other people, right? And so I never block anyone from stating their opinions. And I like that we have the whole range, right? And in the past, we've had David Pakman as part of the net, like the YouTube network broadly.
But who's the we, Cenk? Who's the we? You've said these things before, and I have thoughts on them. But who's the we?
So that's TYT. TYT is that whole spectrum of left-wing thought. And as you know, Franny, we debate on the show all the time.
We don't. We really, like, I just want to be fair. Like, we don't. Because if we did, we would have had this conversation many, many times, but we don't. Number one, I am not the main host. Ana Kasparian is. Number two, I am rarely the fill-in host. Jordan Ewell has been filling in quite frequently. Number three, when I do fill in as a host or as a guest, it depending on the story is when we can actually sometimes maybe squeeze in 1 or 3 minutes of debate, but we have to keep it moving.
So here it's clear as day. We have Cenk Uygur and, Ana Kasparian. He's going to say the entire thing. He's going to say, we have people that are at the left of us. We have people that we're supporting that are on the left of us. But really, it's TYT. That's what I'm describing. That's who I'm for. He may say that TYT is a leftist, news, is a journal. It's a leftist journal station. But, Francesca Fiorentini is asking him, well, how is it? Who are you actually defending? Who are you looking for? And he's saying, he's going to say, well, we're TYT. We're just, when he gives you some shtick about how TYT is for the left and everything, when it's not. It's not. And Francesca Fiorentini is really making that clear right now. Let's keep on watching.
That is the job. The job is to do the news. It's to get to all the different things. So I just want to say that it's very unfair to say that these debates have happened on the main show. Certainly not with me. Maybe once around trans issues. But I want to leave that aside. Who is we? Who are you saying when you say we?
Okay, but let me address that real quick. But yes, but I've gotten into so first of all, we do the news, so we debate within that news story. Is it a shorter period of time? Yes. Sometimes I'll do longer ones. I did a longer one with Jordan Ewell and Jules Sulzdayev, et cetera. And here we are within the network, et cetera. So now that's TYT is the left in general. Young Turks is the flagship show. That's me and Ana. And so I would say that we as in me and Ana are maximum populist, but not maximum left, right? So I am maximum left on some issues, but not all issues. And so those are two different political spectrums. There's the left-right spectrum and the establishment populist spectrum. I mean, I now see Emma Vigeland defending the establishment, which is mind-blowing.
Ari, I want to leave that aside, but I just want to, because I really want to talk about what you are doing and what you believe you are doing. And I want to just explain, by showing, and I want to ask you what you think the goal is of what you are doing. But here was a moment where you were on TPUSA's on Turning Point USA's conference, and Charlie Kirk, who is a Christian nationalist, he's an avowed Christian nationalist. TPUSA has had wildly racist and white supremacists associated with them, including inviting people like Nick Fuentes to speak. No matter what you think of his thoughts on BlackRock, here is him asking you about left media. And I gotta say, Cenk, this one sucked real hard for me. And you also, I think, have been using these opportunities to talk a lot.
So here we have Cenk Uygur even name dropping Emma Vigeland, where he's saying, she's in support of the establishment. She is, and he wants to throw stones. That's the first line of defense for Cenk Uygur, for people like Cenk Uygur, for people like Ana Kasparian. They want to throw stones, saying, no, well, just they want to redefine what it means, just so that they can fit their own definition, just so that they can keep a hold on it. They're not leftists. They're not. He already said that. He said you're more left than me. He said that he's more centrist. Like, he just admitted that he's not a left. So how is he going to say that he's more leftist? But he's, and then he's going to say, but I'm more populist and everything. Well, that's fine. It's not, you're not the home of progressives. You are not as big of a force as what you're saying. You're not for the people that you're saying you're for. You are for Cenk Uygur. You are for that is who you're for. So say that you're the home of Cenk Uygur. Say that. Don't start throwing stones at other people and start wanting to cause divide and start wanting to murk up the waters.
Not about the left to the right.
I think the left has some work to do in developing over-the-top media to be able to bypass the main networks.
Yeah, so we have TYT as a giant network, but we have a lot of great progressive and populist shows that are not part of TYT that's in the left-wing ecosystem.
I just want to stop and say I'm excited to hear which ones you like, given that you just sort of insulted Emma Vigeland just now. I'm curious which ones you actually do still support that aren't your own, but I'm going to keep going, Cenk. Hang on.
So I don't think that that's the issue. I don't think that there isn't enough shows. I think that there's a couple others. One, on the right, you guys do a great job of coalescing. Okay, so you do a couple of things well. You work together well, and you're more welcoming, if I'm being honest.
We're glad Cenk's here, right, everybody?
And a lot of people on the left know this as well. If you agree with MAGA 5%, the answer you get is welcome, right? Come join us, right? On the left, if you disagree 5%, they go, get out of here, you're a right-winger, you're a fascist, right? But if you push enough people out and you guys welcome enough people in, eventually you win the popular vote. That's what I warned them about, and that's what happened, right?
Okay, so there you are, and
Yeah, I love it. Stick with 100% of what I just said there. I'm 100% right about it.
And there we have Cenk Uygur shamelessly defending his grift, the grift that him and Ana Kasparian are now sharing towards the right. They've made a full 180 heel turn towards the right, and they don't really give a shit anymore. You see Cenk Uygur saying, yeah, 100%, I agree with what I just said, where he's literally, just sucking up to everyone on MAGA, to everyone who is, he even said it. He said, you guys all support, they'll bring in anybody. That sounds like they're not really standing for anything. It sounds like the only reason why they like it is because they like one person maybe, and then now that person's polarizing enough, is manipulative enough to sell everybody on it. He said, hey, if you only agree with disagree with one thing that I'm doing, well then come over here. You guys are on my team, but he is getting sucked up with that. It just looks like he, it's a blind spot of his. Let's see what Emma Vigeland has to say about it.
Can be extremely fluidly defined, right? Donald Trump is a part of the establishment. Donald Trump is a rich guy that has gamed the system over and over again to escape things like multiple bankruptcies, and he's come out on top because the rules are stacked in his favor. but he's not seen as establishment because he pisses off people in Washington. I would argue that he's a part of the establishment, but someone else making that argument may not make that argument. And so then how do you define what establishment is if it's that fluid? Because frankly, it's just like a branding exercise to appeal to the broadest audience, because it can mean anything. And we saw this with Jimmy Dore. The point is that you have to first have an ideology of like what you want to do when you get power, and then you can critique the establishment as we do. Like what our focus should be, I think, in terms of pushing the Democrats to the left and as leftists, like decommodifying the essentials of life. This is the kind of thing that I want to push forward in the next few years. Housing, healthcare, making it easier for people to have fulfilling, happy lives without being crushed by the weight of capitalism. And that is the focus, not just like daddy's pissing me off, so I'm going to rebel against him and get a nose piercing. Like that's anti-establishment politics.
Well, right, Emma Vigeland is going to say, what are you actually standing for, Cenk? Emma Vigeland, Francesca Fiorentini, both are asking him, like, in a dire, like, what are you standing for? Who do you represent? And he's going to say, I represent TYT. That's great. That's great. What do you represent? What do you represent should be the question, and he's going to say, oh, well, I'm anti-establishment. Great. That's so great. What do you represent? Like, how many times do you have to ask that before someone gives a straight answer? He doesn't know what he stands for. That's why he's so swept up in these different politics, why he's getting swayed over to one side so easy. These are not values that he holds. He does not believe in, he hasn't done enough soul searching, it seems like. Like if someone's saying, well, what's your view on healthcare? He might even change on that. He might say, oh, well, maybe people should have to pay for it. And, it's like, you agree that people don't have a right to live? You think that, if you can't afford healthcare, should you die? Is that, and he's going to say, oh, well, no, well, down with the establishment, it's just like, where are your actual arguments for how people should be living? How do you believe that the world can be? If you're doing that, if you're doing a left-wing progressive, if you're having a whole news channel, if you're having a whole journalist, business based off of this, what are your views? Do you have it? Do you have views at all? Because if not, then go serve sandwiches at Costco or do something like that. Go make TikToks, Cenk Uygur. It's tiring. Cenk Uygur and Ana Kasparian, they don't really have any type of viewpoints, which is clear. He's more like caught up in the limelight of it seems like. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. It's another day in the progressive way.